In this video, you're going to see how to wrap the spoiler on a hatchback using tools and material from Rvinyl. Note that in removing the tools and material from the package, there's always a voucher, and be sure to take advantage of it. And note that Rvinyl only uses premium wrapping film, so it'll conform and hold for the long term. The first step is cleaning. Take a tucking tool and run it along all the edges using Rapid Prep. Make sure you do a full 360 because cleaning those edges is absolutely critical for long-term hold. Once the 360 is made, then it's time to clean the main surface and masking tape the outside edge. The masking tape will lower the surface energy and allow the film to be tucked deep inside these gaps safely without being overstretched. Good idea is to take the Rvinyl application card and then seal the masking tape deep inside the groove. This is important so it doesn't get caught up underneath the wrap film. Once all the masking tape on one edge is set up, do the exact same thing for the other side if applicable. Here there's a tight gap, so the masking tape is being placed over the black molding, so this will allow the film to be picked up and tucked in nice and deep without overstretching. Here the antenna is slightly in the way of the main piece, so it's being cut safely away ahead of time so the material can lay flat. This will help with workflow. Now that the material is set, simply fold one half over and release the liner. In most cases, because premium film is used, the material will be able to slide and glide across the surface, so you can remove a large section of the wrapping film, tack it onto the surface, then pull the entire liner off. This is called what's going cowboy or cowgirl. Pull the film evenly toward the other side, and now it's time to create 100% glass, which means a wrinkle-free surface. Because if there's too much wrinkles on the surface and on the edges, it can lead to overstretching and low quality. So here the film is stretched evenly away from the corner, and then it's stretched evenly with two hands pulling in what's called the triangle shape. So by spreading the film out by pulling at 45-degree angles from either side, this creates that glass-like shape on the surface. Once glass has been achieved, it's always a good idea to add heat just to relax the film. This will shrink it slightly, so it'll keep it from overstretching once it's tacked on. Always apply the recessed areas first with an application glove, then take the squeegee that has a monkey strip corner game felt buffer on it. This means the film can be taken safely to the surface and won't be scratched. Tack in one body line first, then squeegee the main flat area with firm overlapping squeegee strokes. The film has what's called air egress features on it, which means the air will flow out nice and even underneath the film. So this means no bubbles and high workflow. You can see with overlapping strokes the process, once the film is glassed out, is easy and straightforward. Now it's time to pick the film up and tuck it into any gaps. So here the material can safely slide off the masking tape and be tucked deep into the gap. This is for full coverage and hold. Then once everything's tucked in and set, run a finger on the outside edge to double check for any tension and check for bubbles. Now it's time to add heat. This activates the adhesive, so do a 360, and while doing this, look for any loose edges. It's very important that the film is 100% up before getting to the cutting process. Always click the blade so it's extra sharp, and for this particular cut, it's called a tuck-in cut. Because the molding at the bottom tightly fits in with the spoiler at the top, the blade can be safely held in the groove. Make sure the angle of the blade is roughly 10 degrees towards the edge, and keep the knife at a 45-degree angle. Once the cut is made, come in with an Avery Dennison flex stream and seal the edge. This is a micro squeegee. For the top edge of this hatchback spoiler, this is what's called an empty cut. So here the blade is extended out, maybe one or two clicks, and it runs alongside the edge of the spoiler. So by running alongside the edge, it stays nice and straight and gives just enough material to wrap around the edge, which is then sealed with an application glove. Once one section is done, repeat the same for the rest of the top of the spoiler. Angle the blade slightly away so the film wraps around, and keep that blade edge alongside the edge of the spoiler. Once to the side, come back and seal the deal with a buffer and the squeegee. Remove the masking tape and repeat the exact same steps for the other half. It's all about having good body position, so never cut away from yourself, always cut to yourself and have a nice light touch. Once cut, retract the blade for safety, pull away the excess film low and flat away from the spoiler, and then immediately come back and seal the deal with that Avery Dennison flex stream. With everything cut out, the final step is to go over the entire hatchback spoiler with the heat gun. This is to double check for bubbles, activate that adhesive, and make sure 100% of those edges are nice and tight. Be extra thorough during this process. Also, if there's slight dull scratches on the surface, they'll be self-healed with the heat. And then the final step is to wipe the spoiler down and remove any handprints, and it's ready to go. And as you can see, you can easily transform your hatchback spoiler using great tools and material from Rvinyl, as well as tips and tricks from the Wrap Institute.